Aloha everybody, this is Tiggy Maximus with Tiggy Maximus Talks, episode 118 on YouTube. Thank you guys for listening to all these episodes, most of these episodes, some of these episodes, or maybe one episode. If you like, subscribe, follow these episodes on YouTube and on Spotify, the same name, Tiggy Maximus Talks. Thank you. Also, if you have a chance, there's a link on my Spotify episode where you can make a small donation towards the podcast. So I am just kind of taking in a lot of great stuff that happened over the last few days. Met up with some great friends. Had some good pizza from Rogers Pizza Rollo in Mission Gorge. Got to have some food truck Thursdays at the Coronado Island at the Marriott parking lot. Got to try some sushi burrito from Z's Buddies Sushi, and the teriyaki chicken tenders with tater tots from Dirty Birds. Then there was just going to a comedy show, a roast battle on Wednesday night at the La Jolla Comedy Store. Great roast battles, best one I've seen so far. Then going to a comedy show, Going Dutch at the Booze Brothers Brewery in Vista. Great comics, great concept, dating comedy show. Write your questions that you want to be answered on an index card, and the comedians will give their advice and also their life experiences about dating, love, sex, marriage, all sorts of it. And I had the pleasure of being at a housewarming party yesterday in Claremont Drive, Balboa Avenue. And what's great is that from their second level patio, you get to see the Coronado Bridge. Beautiful sight. And get to play some Jackbox. Anywho, a lot of stuff happened yesterday too. A lot of combat fights happening. SummerSlam, Jake Paul versus Nate Diaz, UFC Fight Night, Corey Sandhagen versus Rob Font. A lot of great stuff happening yesterday. And then even found out about the USA versus Sweden World Cup round of 16 matchup, how it ended in penalty kicks, and the match was won by basically a millimeter. Ball crossed the line completely. So USA is out, Sweden goes on. But yeah, so I did want to talk about a comedy show I went to. It was the dating comedy show, Going Dutch. So I showed up like around 7:15ish, 7:20. First time at the Booze Brothers Brewery in Vista, and I got to see them set up. Got to run into Gabe Ramirez and Kane Holloway and Short Jake, so that was pretty cool. And then we got to see Phil Alvarez, so it's cool seeing that guy. But yeah, my buddies Chris and Luai came to see the show, so we had some wings, good wings, had some pizza, decent pizza. But yeah, once we all started to get inside, get ready for the show started around 8 something. And then, looking forward to a good show. So the camera guy first came out and he read some stuff to kind of start off the night, read some rules. So that was cool of him. And then first person that came up, I believe, was Gabe Ramirez. So he did some stand-up. Great guy. He got some good crowd reactions. There was a concert happening on the other side of the wall because there was a concert going on at Booze Brothers along with the comedy show happening inside one of the hangars. So Gabe had to kind of talk loudly so he could talk over the concert. So, but I could hear pretty much most of all the comedians while the concert was going on, so it wasn't too bad of a thing. But overall, I would say Gabe Ramirez did a great job. I would say he was about an 8.4 out of 10. Great show from him. And I believe I did see let's see Camille Waters. She went up, did some jokes, and then started talking about dating and picked some cards. And then she got on stage along with Short Jake. They tend to be more of a tandem in the comedy world, so they had a show together. I think it's like the wine comedy and boats and jokes. So that's pretty cool. Good tag team. Honestly, really great set coming from both Jake and Camille. I would say they were an 8.5 for their comedic responses to Dayton and answering questions and sharing. So I believe we also had Olivia Viola. So I believe that she got to be on stage with either it might have been with Kane Holloway or Short Jake. So yeah, first time seeing Olivia, funny gal. I would say she did pretty well. And she had a good connection with Short Jake. Shared a lot of experiences, talking about hand jobs and stuff, and so I would say they were 8.4 as well. So let's see what else. Let's see. I believe there was an Allison Vastano. She went up. Her, I guess you could say her set did alright, but it wasn't too big with the crowd. But then I would say just her set alone might have been like more of a 7 out of 10. But when she went up with Olivia, they actually have a podcast together. They shared a lot about experiences, talking about blowjobs and other stuff too. So for theirs, I think it was more of a 8.2 out of 10 for their segment together answering questions. Let's see who else. Jim Pine. Yeah, guy was pretty funny though. Talked about he actually answered my question actually on stage. But yeah, just Jake Jim Pine had a good time up there with Kane Holloway. Answered a lot of questions. Um, I would say their segment was probably um, 8.6 out of 10. Pretty funny though. And then I believe there was Jennifer Sturger. She was the headliner. Um, I think um, I think she's trying to get into her comedy set, but I guess she only told a few jokes. Talked about her divorce was finalized and how her mother-in-law was on her honeymoon and she didn't go. So, um, but I think that was all right. I would say it was probably 7.7 out of 10, but it got really interesting when she talked about love and dating advice with Kane Holloway when they're answering questions and stuff. So I would say their segment was probably 8.1 out of 10. So I liked it a lot. Um, but yeah, can't think of anybody else on the show. But overall, great show. I was laughing a lot. Um, my cheeks were hurting for a lot of stuff they were saying, and I could tell the two ladies to my right were laughing the entire show. So it's really good hearing good crowd reactions at this show, and it's nice to see King Holloway have two different locations for Going Dutch. So the other location is at the PB Backyard Kitchen in Pacific Beach. So, um, and I guess if I haven't talked about it already, I did go to a roast battle at the La Jolla Comedy Store, hosted by Gordon Downs and Brian Moses and Pat Barker. Um, so really fun stuff. Um, I remember Billy Orm went up. His comedy was probably a good 7.5 out of 10. I remember Raul Zambrano went up. His was about an 8 out of 10. I believe Frank Castillo went up. First time seeing him, he was like a champion of roast battling. I think his was like 8.5 out of 10. Pat Barker, I believe he was like about a 8.9 out of 10. Pretty funny guy. And then your first roast battle was, I believe it was Jessica Hudson versus Michael Red. That one was actually alright. Jessica won that one. Um, Next was, I believe it was Nick BK versus Ron Ripley. That one was actually okay too. I actually liked that one. It was actually pretty funny. I think Nick BK had won with the joke where he talked about in his overtime joke. I've seen Ron Ripley go to the bathroom and pee, and he pulls down his pants all the way down to his ankles. So that was what got him the victory. And then Mimi Harris versus Taylor Spencer. That was a victory for Taylor Spencer, but they both did pretty well. I actually like that one the most. And then last one, I believe it was Jacob Johnstone versus Stephen Gaines. That was pretty cool. Stephen Gaines won that one. And then honestly, they're gonna ask Mimi and Taylor to go up to Hollywood, the Comedy Store, to do their roasting again. Overall, a great show. I liked it a lot, and I got pictures with Brian Moses, Pat Barker, Frank Castillo, Gordon Downs, Mike Vinn. Well, yeah, Mike Vinn. His comedy was 8.5 out of 10. He was funny too. And got to hang out with Jessica Hudson and Mimi and Ellis. And overall, great show. So I liked it a lot, and can't wait to see the next show. So I'll talk to you guys later, and I'll talk to you guys again soon. All right, guys. Talk to you later. Bye. Tiggy Maximus out.